We're throwing it back.
20 years, baby.
Maddie's Movie Mix.
Throwback.
2002.
We're
throwing it back.
2002.
20 years.
Yeah.
We're going to go hard on The Sum of All Fears.
All of it.
And I remember when this came out, I watched it. I've watched it maybe 3 times now, 4 max.
Yeah.
Jack Ryan. This came out after the Jack Ryan with Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Clear and Present Danger and some of that. And, Jack Ryan's a character that Tom Clancy wrote, created, whatever. Wrote these books. Not Jack Reacher.
There's a difference.
Big difference.
I'm not quite I'm getting there to what the difference is.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you what the difference is exactly.
Especially when you have all these reboots of
I know. It's confusing.
Same genre.
Yeah. But the storyline itself was really good. There's good actors in it.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck and Morgan Freeman. I know Ben Affleck, he asked Harrison Ford
for permission.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's sort of cool. But, Harrison Ford said, no nuclear bomb. No, you know what I mean? He lists his things. Yeah. And I'm like, that didn't, no one cared.
Right.
Because, that's what they did. So whatever.
What else is a war movie going to be out besides nuclear bombs or nuclear war?
Yeah. And so I don't know. It was interesting that it was like, well, do it as long as there's not this and that. And I'm like, well, that's exactly the opposite.
Yeah.
What did you think?
It's definitely dated. This the first time I watched it was this week.
Yeah. And I don't think it holds up.
No.
And I don't think it was all that good back then. It didn't do all that well.
No.
It's something that I think is important to, the storyline itself, I think is important. I could probably listen to it and enjoy it as much.
Yeah. But this is better to listen to. Our voices.
It is better, yes. However, I think you could listen to it and not have to watch it because the cinematography was terrible, I thought.
Yeah.
The editing wasn't very good.
I remember there was the weird dust storm thing. Maybe it wasn't that dust storm. I was in and out of the film.
Yeah, no, and so, and it was really weird because when this came out in 2002, the nuclear bomb was in the cigarette machine.
Yeah, that's right.
They didn't exist then.
No.
That was illegal.
Right.
They banned them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's dumb.
Yeah.
I thought that back when it came out.
Right.
I'm like, what? This just literally happened a few years ago, and they're putting this cigarette. I mean, everybody would be like, no. They'd catch it right away.
Right.
Like, come on.
Yeah, I was not impressed. Although it was nice to see a flip phone again.
Yeah.
And not only a flip phone, but he had the whole attachment thing figured out. And I was like, now talk about throwbacks.
Yes.
There it is.
Yes, I know. And so I like the Jack Ryan storyline, Hunt for Red October.
Yep.
Alec Baldwin was in that as Jack Ryan. So there's been a few actors.
I think Tom Clancy said Ben Affleck was his favorite. But maybe that was just publicity.
I don't know.
I always think it's interesting because my experience with Jack Ryan is John Krasinski in the Amazon series,
and I do really like John Krasinski as a person or as an actor.
Yeah,
I don't know, but so I can't say
speed dial number 8.
Right? It's like, wow.
Hey Johnny.
I have some critical things to say about what he did during the pandemic and stuff as a person and whatever. But as an actor, I really enjoy him.
Yeah.
And so I really like that. I hope they do more of them.
Right.
I really enjoy
that was our conversation. I couldn't figure out what the difference between Jack Reacher and Jack Ryan was. Like, are they continuing the series with 2 different actors? That doesn't make sense.
Right, I know, yeah. No, they're different.
That's right.
They're different, Tyler.
Oh my gosh.
So there's that.
I'll get it figured out.
But yeah, so The actors that are lined up in this, I wonder what they would say about it now. Obviously, back then, everybody said fluffy things and, you know, unicorns and rainbows about the movie.
That's right.
Because they had to.
Yeah.
How would it hold up for them? I'm super curious because I just can't see James Cromwell's a great, you know, and Morgan Freeman's great.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck is, you know, who he is.
It's just one of those.
There's a lot of other B characters in there.
Let's not talk about it.
Yeah, and so
I feel like that's where it's at.
Yeah.
I think it's one that you don't highlight because you don't want people to look it up.
I think right, exactly. It could ruin the story of the current Jack Ryan.
Yeah.
Let's ruin it.
Right.
No.
Why not?
Anything else? We're just going hard on a throwback.
That's right. Watch any other Jack Reacher besides this one.
Well, you could watch Jack Reacher
or
Jack Ryan.
Watch any Jack Reacher or Ryan.
And if you want to give Tyler a really hard time, email us at legitq@maddysmoviemix.com and just lay into him. I'll forward it to him.
I'll get my Kleenexes ready.
Hammer the share button. Go ahead and hammer out a comment to us. Go ahead and hammer the like button. Go ahead and hammer the subscription button. Go ahead and hammer the notification bells, because you know what? That's the best way you can support us. We appreciate it.
Stop listening to Podcast Topless. We're Shiny Brand products that are so comfortable you'll think you're topless. Check out shinybrandproducts.com.